all across America and around the world. This is Veterans Radio. This is Veterans Radio.
Welcome to Veterans Radio. I am Jim Fausone. I'm the officer of the deck today. We've got some great programs for you. I think you'll find very interesting. We always want to remind you can find more about Veterans Radio at its Facebook site or by going to veteransradio.net, where we're on the web 24/7. You can find a lot of our podcasts there as well. We post new ones every Tuesday, so you can get a new story, a new interview, something you didn't know before by going to veteransradio.net. And before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors. First up, we want to thank National Veteran Business Development Council, NVBDC.org. It was established to certify both service-disabled and veteran-owned businesses. You'll find out how they can help your business by going to NVBDC.org. We want to thank Legal Help for Veterans. Legal Help for Veterans fights for veterans' disability rights all across the nation. You can reach them at 800-693-4800 or on the web at legalhelpforveterans.com. Welcome, I am Jim Fausone, and this is Veterans Radio Spotlight on the National Veteran Business Development Council, NVBDC.org. Veterans Radio America, a nonprofit, has a partnership with NVBDC, which started in 2013. NVBDC is the nation's leading third-party authority for certification of veteran-owned businesses of all sizes. It addresses the growing need to identify and certify both service-disabled and veteran-owned businesses for the commercial and governmental marketplace. It provides and administers a rigorous certification process designed to withstand the scrutiny of governmental and corporate entities seeking to utilize veteran-owned businesses. And today we want to welcome to Veterans Radio Nick Wilson, who is with Legion Logistics. Nick, welcome to Veterans Radio.
Thanks so much, Jim. Thanks very much for having us here today. We're very proud members of the NVBDC and happy to talk about it.
Well, Legion Logistics is a third-party logistics provider based in Newport, Kentucky. We're going to talk about what they specialize in terms of moving freight, which is so important these days. But Nick, let's start with, tell us what your position is at Legion Logistics, but then go on and tell us about the co-owner, your Army veteran.
Yes, so I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for Legion Logistics. Legion Logistics is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business that was founded in 2009. Our owner is Anthony Kotsevtidis, who is a retired Army veteran. He was also Soldier of the Year in 2007, I believe. And he helped found the company with his former co-owner, who he bought out a few years ago. We recently moved to a new office in Newport, Kentucky that we are pretty excited about. And under Tony's leadership, we've been able to grow despite the challenges of the pandemic and the freight market right now.
Well, tell us a little bit about what Legion Logistics does, its size, the number of people, its employment of veterans, that sort of stuff. Give our Veteran Radio listeners an understanding.
Absolutely. And that's why it's especially important if you are starting your own business and you're a veteran to look into what the NVBDC can provide you. Our company is only 27 people. We have an office in Newport, Kentucky, like I mentioned, as well as a few folks on the admin side that work remote. We are about a $26 million company right now, and that's after we've been in business a little over a decade. The benefit that we have found with the NVBDC, we've been members of the National Veterans Business Development Council for just shy of 2 years. So we are relatively new to the organization. So the feedback that I'm going to give you, Jim, is very fresh. In that year and a half to 2 years that we have worked with them, we've attended innumerable diversity conferences, both virtual and in person, and been connected with people that we otherwise would not even be on the radar for. to give you an example of what the organization does from a certification standpoint, because you mentioned that, and that really is where it starts. Many folks that are starting their own business, veterans that are transitioning and they want to start up their own business, they don't necessarily know what to do. They may have heard, I think there are some things that I can do, some certifications I can do. I don't know how they help me. If you're starting from that standpoint, the NVBDC is perfect. They're absolutely prepared to talk to you, and they're prepared to help you with those certifications, and they're prepared to help you grow your business. If you're an established business, like ours was when we connected with the NVBDC, then they're equipped to propel you further. So they're not just a certification agency, but their connections are very, very widespread.
Well, Nick, that's one of the things I try to stress to folks. You need the certification, but that certification then allows you to network with this much broader base of potential customers who are looking for veteran-owned businesses, and that's really what's happened for you, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I'm sure that you've heard that diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are in front of mind for pretty much everyone in business in the United States right now. And a lot of veterans do not realize that a service-disabled veteran-owned small business certification will get you to the same table as a women-owned business certification, an LGBTQ certification, or a minority-owned business certification. They are all considered DEI, and so it can truly open up doors for you.
And one of the things when I'm talking to business owners who are veterans, we talk about is the importance of networking. And, if you were in the military for a period of time, your network, once you leave, is no longer that group. You got to get a new tribe, if you will. You got to get some business owners. You got to get some customers. It's a different group. And really an advantage of NVBDC is that networking to these new tribe members that you need. And you mentioned participating in a number of the conferences and networking events. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, I'd like to give you an example. The NVBDC does a yearly conference that this past year was in Grand Rapids. When myself and Tony, who I mentioned, our owner, attended that conference, we literally ran into folks at companies we had solicited before to work with them. And then as a result of meeting them at an NVBDC event, we subsequently began working with multiple companies who had previously told us that we wouldn't be eligible to work with them at all. Now, I want to walk you through why that happened. It's not because I walked into a conference at a wonderful hotel that the NVBDC sent me to, and that it's just, people are handing out business. That's not the case at all. But these companies we had previously approached, because we're a transportation company, we had approached their transportation people. When you're going to network with the NVBDC, the people you're going to be connected with are the diversity, equity, and inclusion representatives whose job is specifically to advocate for you with that company. And so one of the largest packaging companies in the world had a 20-minute conversation with me last November in Grand Rapids, Michigan at this conference, and I was able to explain our business, our certification, and have a conversation I was not able to have with that company's transportation manager before. And as a result of that, we began working with that company, and we consistently do now every single day.
Yeah, really, it's another door to walk through for big companies, but small and medium ones as well. But sometimes, the gatekeeper, that person says, no. But if you can come at it from a different angle, they turn around and go, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Yes, we can talk some more. So it actually happened for you. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
One of the things I want to ask you about is the certification process. It is, as I referred to it, rigorous. You really have to prove up that the service-disabled veterans involved in the business, and I take it Tony obviously is.
Yes, he's very hands-on. He works on our sales floor and our operations floor every day. From a nuts and bolts standpoint for the certification, although this is why you have Amy and Keith and Jeff at the NVBDC available to you, because they're going to walk you through this if you're listening to this and you want the help. they'll do it. They're not just going to send you to a website. They will help you every step of the way. You do need to make sure that the majority owner of your business is indeed a veteran. And you do also need to make sure that that veteran has some sort of active role in the business. Now, that doesn't mean he needs to be as active as my very active CEO, but he or she, I apologize, but it does mean that they have to be involved somehow. The reason that's so important to the certification process is you don't want someone who's just an owner in the background, perhaps, but not participating in the business, because this is intended to go to veterans who are building their own businesses out there and actively working on that.
And we're talking to Nick Wilson, who's the Chief Revenue Officer for Legion Logistics, which is an NVBDC certified service disabled owned business. And I wanted to read a quote that I saw Tony put out that says, quote, "The skills I learned throughout my military career have helped me to become more focused and become a real self-starter. The same holds true for all of our employees with military backgrounds. In return, our atmosphere of understanding, compassion, and camaraderie makes it a great place for veterans." I think that's the whole point. We want veterans running businesses so that they can attract other veterans and give them good paying, solid jobs. And I think that's, Tony kind of summed it up there.
Absolutely, Jim. And obviously we're a little biased over at Legion, but we do have several members of our staff that are veterans, and we are very active in our local veteran community as well. So it is indeed exactly what it's all about. In terms of the NVBDC and what they can give you, I really just can't express the scope of what they are able to do for you, though. Whether you're just starting out or you really just want to get your business to the next level, they can do all of the above.
So explain again to our veteran radio listeners, Nick Wilson, Chief Revenue Officer, what does Legion Logistics do, and in what part of the country does it do it?
Yes, so we are a third-party transportation management company, which means that when you go to Walmart and you buy the milk off the shelf, that milk was delivered by a Walmart truck that picked it up from a Walmart distribution center. And before it got to that Walmart distribution center, someone like me or at my company had that delivered to that distribution center for you from the manufacturer or the distributor, or sometimes from other countries. And that's what we do. We primarily work with automotive customers and some folks in retail. We work with General Motors and Kroger and a few other names you'd probably recognize. But what really stands out about our company, most folks that do what we do are in a commissionable-based model. That's not the case with us. We have an in-house operations team and an in-house dispatch team and a third shift for both that are there 24/7 that manage and route and dispatch all the carriers that we use as well. None of the folks at our office make commissions or bonuses, and we feel that tends to make things the best for the end user every time.
Well, it's an interesting and important business model in today's environment where we've talked about logistic snags through the pandemic. But I guess maybe my final question to you, Nick, is as you look back at what it took to get certified and all the extra efforts that go into this, is it something that you'd recommend to other businesses?
Absolutely. The reason is, if you are someone that is just that you want to just get this certification because you know it's a good idea to grow your business and it's going to give your business some visibility, then that's a very brief conversation with Keith and Amy at the NVBDC, and they'll help you with it. Also, just to let you know, this is not a situation where you call them and then they're going to send you an invoice for helping you. That's not the case. There is a cost to the certification, but there is no cost to their tutelage whatsoever. After that, I will tell you that I literally had conversations with people that work at companies that I never imagined I'd have conversations with. I spoke with Meta, Sonoco, multi-billion-dollar companies as a result of the conferences that the NVBDC facilitates you being able to attend. And I was standing next to Jim. I was standing next to many other veteran business owners that didn't start in 2009 and aren't a $26 million company and don't have a Tony, and they're just getting started, and they got to have those same conversations. And in a lot of those cases, those folks that are just starting their business out, they weren't in transportation. They had something innovative and new and awesome. I remember an IT company, a brand new IT company, was able to begin working with Meta, as a result of the meeting that I witnessed at this conference.
Well, I don't know. I don't know
what's a better testament to it than
that. That's what I was going to say. I don't know how NVBDC.org gets a better testimonial. Hey, Nick, if people want to know about Legion Logistics, can you direct them to a website?
Absolutely. Go ahead and check us out at www.jointhelegion.com. That's JOINTHELEGION.com, like the Roman Legion.
We appreciate you taking some time today to talk to Veterans Radio, to talk about your involvement with NVBDC, and we wish you and the folks at Legion Logistics nothing but the best going forward.
Thanks very much, Jim. It was a pleasure.
And I want to thank everybody for listening to Veterans Radio today. I am Jim Fausone. It's been a pleasure to be your host. I'm a veterans disability lawyer at Legal Help for Veterans, and you can reach us at 800-693-4800 or legalhelpforveterans.com on the web. You can follow Veterans Radio on Facebook and listen to its podcasts and internet radio shows by going to veteransradio.net. And until next time, you are dismissed.
If you have a VA claim denied by the Board of Veterans' Appeals, contact Legal Help for Veterans at 1-800-693-4800. They're experts in handling cases before the U.S. Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. Their number again, 1-800-693-4800.
We again want to thank our national sponsors, the National Veterans Business Development Council, NVBDC.org, VA Ann Arbor Health Care System, the Vietnam Veterans of America Charles S. Kettles Chapter, Ann Arbor, Michigan, VFW Graf O'Hara Post 423 in Ann Arbor, and the American Legion Press Corn Post 46, also in Ann Arbor. We appreciate all your support. You can go to veteransradio.net, click on the sponsor level, and continue to support keeping Veterans Radio on the air. And until next time, you are dismissed.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
What's the first thing you do if you'd had more time in the day? Take a nap? Read a book? Talk with a friend? When you know what's important to you, it's easier to fit it into your schedule. Therapy can help you figure that out. BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy that comes to you. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/happieryou today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/happieryou.